Hey, what's happening everybody? It's Dwayne with Off Grit, and today's video I am doing part 3 of the DIY pergola build. Initially I thought it was going to be a 2-part, but it looks like it might be a 4 or even a 5-part video. But here at the beginning I'm showing you just some supplies being delivered for my DIY house build. If you're new to the channel, you can tune in for that. I'm going to be showing the process of DIY building a house here in Southeast Arizona from beginning to end. But anyways, this is part 3 of the DIY pergola build, so here we go. So in the last video I left off, I was cutting up these pallet rack beams to put together a frame on top here, and here you can see me putting all that into place. This is my DIY platform I made for my utility bed on my truck, and you can see here I can stand up here and just put everything into place. This truck will also be used for my house build, so just wanted to show that part. And of course, a lot of welding here. This whole process has just been a DIY welding project for me. With these pallet rack beams, you can get them super cheap and they're very weldable. The cool thing is once you weld these things into place, this pergola is not going to go anywhere. Being that I live in the high desert, you know, we're at about 4,200 foot elevation and we get really strong winds out here, folks, like all the time. I needed something that was not going to go anywhere and decided that the best bet would be to just weld steel into place for a pergola. And so this is a permanent pergola. This isn't something that like a kit where you could just take it apart. Once it's here forever. Alright, so once I got the frame put together, you'll see me doing things sometimes. This is definitely not OSHA approved here, but this is just fatigue. Sometimes I just find a comfy place to work. Sometimes I just sit on the ground and do it. Anyways, cutting some angle iron brackets. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing here, but basically I'm cutting brackets to hold the rafters into place. I'm actually going to be going with wood rafters for the roof, just 2x4s. It's just a pergola after all. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm cutting pieces that I will be tack welding together that will actually hold these 2x4s. I'll just run screws through them. You'll see the process here. So the next section here, you'll see me welding and you might wonder what I'm doing. I just figured I'd explain it before you see it. So just an FYI, I skipped quite a bit ahead here. Number one, I didn't tell you guys what I used to coat this pergola. I used an elastomeric roof coating, a rubberized roof coating, and I just went with desert tan. You can find this in any big box store. It's an elastomeric rubberized coating. You usually put it on metal roofs anyways, so I just used a roller and coated this whole thing, including these rafters, with that coating. Sorry I skipped ahead because I actually was doing that when it was pretty dark out, and I think it was windy, so I didn't have my camera handy. So anyways, that's where I skipped quite a bit. But here you can see fitting these rafters into place. Those brackets that I just made, I actually welded those onto the frame here. I spaced them out. Basically, I had to do a little bit of math, just a scrap piece of paper, and figure out the spacing on these things. But once I figured out the spacing here, you can see I also had to drill holes in the sides here. So basically it's just like hurricane ties, except for they're just made out of angle iron and they're welded into place, so they're not going anywhere. The only thing I will say here with these brackets is I wish I would have spaced them a little bit more, because you can see here I have to hammer these into place. The good news is it's a really snug fit here, as you can see, but the bad news is I also had to use a grinder to grind off the edges of the wood to get them to fit, so that was a little bit more tedious than I wanted it to be. So you can hear right now I'm using my grinder. This is an angle grinder. There's a special adapter you can put on the edge of it for grinding wood. I don't have it shown here, but basically you can grind wood with your angle grinder as well. And that's all I'm doing here, is just trying to grind little bits and pieces off the wood here to get it to fit. Like I said, that was a mistake I made. I should have widened these a bit, but I really was trying to get it to be a tight fit so the wood wouldn't slide through. In the future, I would just give it a little more space. Alright folks, so for the final part of this video, obviously we're gonna have another part here. You can see here just how much I use my truck. I've said it in multiple videos, but this truck, you know, $3,800 I think I paid for it a few years ago, and you can just see just how useful a truck like this is. Basically, with that DIY platform that I built on top of the lumber rack, I'm able to just climb up here and just screw these panels into place. So pretty easy process. I apologize for not having my camera up here to show you that process, but basically there's a lot of videos online on how to attach metal panels to a roof, but basically that's all I did here. The next video will be very interesting because I'm going to be pouring a concrete slab inside this pergola here, and that should be the end of the video series. But thanks for tuning in folks, and I'll look forward to making that next video. See you soon.